Hello everyone, we have reached the summer solstice now, and now we are moving on to the end of the year and early January. During this period we can often see some changes in our circulation pattern. While we have seen quite a lot of rain during the weekend associated with tropical systems, we can now see that most of the action in terms of the tropical weather is located further towards the north, associated with softer weather. While we will see thunder showers over the country, and this is a total rainfall until the 30th of December, Tuesday next week. Thunder showers every day over the eastern half of the summer rainfall region. Totals will be the highest over the eastern Highveld into KwaZulu-Natal and over the Eastern Cape in total for this period. If one look at the summer rainfall, the summer grain production area, the northern to eastern and northeastern parts of that region should see totals maybe in the order of 20 to 50 millimeters, and further south it should be somewhat drier. However, the thunder showers will be convective in nature, and this forecast is very uncertain in terms of the spatial distribution of the rainfall, because during this type of event you will see a very uneven spread of rainfall associated with the afternoon thunder showers every day. It will be relatively dry over the far western parts of the country and hot at times, and while we will see thunder showers over the interior, these will not be associated with a tropical system, and because of drier air in the west interacting with the thunder showers, at times these can also become severe, resulting in strong winds and hail in places. So during the next few days until next Sunday the 28th of December, most of the rain will be associated with thunder showers, and they will be mostly located, the higher totals, over the far eastern parts of the country, including the Highveld, eastern Highveld, eastern parts of the Free State into KwaZulu-Natal, and eastern parts of the Eastern Cape. If one look at maximum temperatures, average maximum temperatures for this period until Sunday the 28th, we can see that it will be warm over the central to western parts of the country, where temperatures on average, the maximum temperatures will exceed 30 degrees Celsius, and that is also true for those Swartland areas, parts of the winter rainfall region, and also the Lowveld in the northeast. Over the eastern Highveld and into the southern parts of KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape and those southern parts of the country, one can expect the average maximum temperatures to be in the order of 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. So over the southern to eastern interior regions and along the coast, it will be relatively cool during the next few days if you compare these temperatures with what is usually the case during this time of the year, while it will be warm over the western interior and northwestern interior, as well as those northeastern low-lying areas. So now zooming out spatially and looking at the rainfall until Tuesday the 30th of December, and again one can see that most of the action will be located towards the north and east of South Africa. So this is something that we have now seen during the last week or two. Action is shifting a bit further towards the east, and we will even have a tropical system developing over the Mozambique Channel. Usually during such events we see lower rainfall over South Africa, but it doesn't exclude thunder showers, and we will see on a daily basis thunder showers during the next few days. And as I mentioned, these far eastern parts of the country will see most of the rain, but the entire central to eastern parts of the country should see thunder showers during the next few days. Even though this will not be the main area of rainfall, and most of the activity is now located towards the north and northeast of South Africa. On the Metsat infrared image for Monday the 22nd in the afternoon, we can see the position of the low pressure system at this stage over northern Namibia and southern Angola, and we also see a lot of tropical action over these areas towards the north and northeast of South Africa. Over the northeastern parts it was cloudy to partly cloudy with showers, and then one can see over these western parts of the country we had that line of thunder showers, convective thunder showers on the line where you have drier air towards the west, and also we have the moisture over the eastern and northern areas. So where these storms develop, they will be more likely to be also associated with hail and strong winds at places. During the next few days, this area of thunder showers will be present over the central to eastern parts of the country, and over those areas we may also see some severe weather in some cases, as tropical weather will be located further towards the north, associated with the softer weather where we see less hailstorms and where we see less storms producing very strong winds. On the satellite image, one can also see the position of a cold front on Monday towards the southwest. This system is going to produce some cooler conditions temporarily on Tuesday over the southwestern parts of the country, and light showers in some isolated areas as well. Taking a quick recap of the rainfall that we have seen so far during December. For the first 21 days of the month, we see the central to eastern parts of the country, most areas receiving between 50 and 150 millimeters of rain, or most areas between 50 and 100 millimeters during this period. It was quite dry over the western interior and also the winter rainfall region, but some areas over the winter rainfall region did see some light showers. Totals were mostly below 15 millimeters in that area. The summer grain production region also received more than 50 millimeters in most areas so far during the month, with the northern areas receiving somewhat more rainfall and some parts of the eastern Free State somewhat less, but most of those areas had more than 50 millimeters of rain during this month so far. And now, putting it into perspective, also the rainfall for the first 21 days of December compared to the long-term average, and we still see that La Nina type pattern, with most of these northern parts of the country seeing above average rainfall, while the southern parts of the country, including the winter rainfall region, mostly saw below average rainfall during this period. Some of those central to northwestern areas received more than 500% of the long-term average, like the northern parts of the Northern Cape, and large areas there also saw more than 200% of the long-term average during this time of the year, and that includes most of the Western Free State. Looking now at the cumulative heat units since 15 October, and this is specifically for the Ermelo region, the eastern parts of the grain production area, for the years 2015 up to 2025, and this year is the broken black line shown here. The cumulative heat unit since mid-October is about at 414, and we can see that compares to the long-term average of 499, being 20% about below that long-term average. And also, compared to all the other years, this was the year with the lowest accumulation of heat units over that region so far, and specifically those eastern parts of the grain production area. On Tuesday, the 23rd of December, now looking at the daily conditions from the 23rd up to the 27th, and starting with Tuesday the 23rd, we see that we will have thunder showers over the interior, mostly scattered over the central parts of the country, isolated further north. These will be convective thunder showers mostly. They will have a tendency to move from south to north, and they will also in some areas become more severe, and that will especially happen according to what we see at this stage in terms of the circulation patterns over the southern parts of this region, or thunder showers over the Eastern Cape and the eastern parts of the Northern Cape, parts of the Free State as well. So during the late afternoon, these thunder showers will move into the eastern Highveld. We can also see that there will be some light showers over the southwestern parts of the country. We will have a cold front that will result in somewhat lower temperatures over the southwestern parts of the country, also an onshore flow resulting in some rain over the Garden Route. The eastern parts of the country will also see temperatures in the order of 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, so it will not be a hot day, it will be quite mild, and it will be somewhat warmer over the western interior and also these far eastern lower lying areas where maximum temperatures will exceed 30 degrees Celsius. On Wednesday, the 24th of December, we will see somewhat more intense thunder showers over the eastern Highveld and the regions around that. This will be associated with the influx of cooler air from the east, which will result in lower temperatures over the eastern to southern parts of the country. That is part of the onshore flow of the previous day that will now reach around the country, and we will see cooler conditions, especially over the eastern Highveld and southeastern parts of the country. But where the cooler air interacts with the warmer air in the northeast, we will see more thunder showers. Some of the thunder showers over the central to eastern parts of the interior may also again become severe. Further to the west, it will be dry, and we will also see higher temperatures, so it will be warm also over the western to northern and northeastern parts of the interior. On Thursday, the 25th, Christmas Day, we will see more thunder showers over most of the central to eastern parts. These will be isolated, scattered in nature. Some of these storms in the west may also again become severe, as we will have westerly winds in these areas interacting with the thunder showers, and that may result also in enhanced tendencies for some of these storms to become severe. It will become hot over the western parts of the interior and also over the interior of the winter rainfall region. It will be mild over the eastern parts, southeastern parts, and into the eastern highveld, and warm over the rest of the interior. On Friday the 26th, we will see some cooler air invading the country from the southeast, and this will also bring some moisture towards the southern parts of the country, where we will see light showers over the Garden Route and also the southern parts of the Karoo. Towards the interior, the winds will be coming from the west, so that will mean that we will have some dry air invading those central parts of the country. However, in the upper air, we will have what is called perturbations over the interior. That will result in unstable conditions, so we will have enhanced tendency for thunder showers also to develop over the interior. That will also be associated with some tropical moisture from the northeast and also moisture from the Indian Ocean. So we will see more thunder showers over the interior, but because of the interaction with the dry air from the west, westerly winds over these parts, central parts of the interior, we will also again see more of the thunder showers becoming severe. So this will not be your softer tropical type of weather, but it will rather be your convective afternoon thunder showers. They will be spread quite widely over the central to eastern interior regions, but over the western interior it will remain dry during the day. It will also become hot over those western parts of the country again, but the winter rainfall region will be somewhat cooler because of the cooler air from the south, except maybe those areas towards the north in the Swartland and further north over the winter rainfall region. Temperatures over the southern to southeastern areas into the eastern highveld will be on the mild side for this time of the year, but the northern parts of the country, northwestern parts of the interior, will be warm to hot. The pattern will remain fairly similar on Saturday the 27th of December, but we will see maybe some heavier falls over these far eastern parts of the country, where totals may exceed 50 millimeters in places, especially also along the coast and adjacent interior of KwaZulu-Natal. Again, we will have some light showers in the south, and again we will have westerly winds interacting with the thunder showers over the interior, and that may again result in some of these thunder showers to become severe. The pattern will also remain similar towards Sunday, but there will be an eastward shift in the thunder showers over the interior and further clearing over the western parts and also clearing over the southern parts of the country. By early next week, and this is quite far ahead now, by around Monday the 29th of December, current forecast models indicate the development of a low pressure system or a trough towards the east. This will enhance the chances for further thunder showers over the far eastern parts of the country, but most of the central and western areas are expected to remain dry by then. However, some of the forecast models currently indicate that later during the week, as a second trough moves closer to the country, we may see somewhat more thunder showers over the central interior as well. As I said, this is quite far ahead still, and the pattern will be monitored going forward. Summarizing with respect to maximum temperatures for Monday the 22nd of December until Sunday the 28th, the summer grain production region will see mild conditions for this time of the year. Average maximum temperatures in the east around 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, and in the west up to 30 degrees Celsius on average. So western parts of the country will be relatively warm, and the southern to eastern areas will be mild, and that will be the result of regular influx of moist and cool air from the south and southeast during the next few days. So for this time of the year, it will again be quite mild. Again, we will probably struggle to see reaching the accumulated heat units that will be expected over those eastern cooler grain production areas. If one look at the areas that can expect maximum temperatures exceeding 35 degrees Celsius, that will be much of the Karoo at times, and this will be just for the highest maximum temperatures during this period, and that also includes those lower northern areas of the interior as well. And that may be only one day or maybe more days. During this period, this is only the highest maximum during the next few days. Highest maximum temperatures over the summer grain production region are not expected to exceed 35 degrees Celsius in any of those areas. Again, just underlining that we are experiencing quite mild conditions for this time of the year. Lowest minimum temperatures until the 28th of December will also remain above 10 degrees Celsius over this entire summer grain production area. Lowest minimum temperatures, average minimum temperatures over the summer grain production area will range between about 12 to 15 degrees Celsius over the eastern areas and up to about 20 degrees Celsius over the far western parts of the region. Now focusing on the larger scale picture to understand what is happening in our area and why we don't see now longer rain periods but we see more thunder showers. This is a Madden-Julian oscillation. This image shows in orange the areas where we see less convection starting on the 21st of December, and this is for the next 15 days in total as we progress in time going down. Now firstly, when we start around the 21st of December, one can see less convection over large parts of the eastern half of the Indian Ocean, and in time that region of less convection is moving further east. Now if we have less convection over the Indian Ocean, that's usually good for rainfall over southern Africa, but as you can see later, by about the 31st and the early part of January, first day or two, we see more convection expected over the Indian Ocean. This is a large scale picture, and usually then we see drier conditions over the southern Africa. So that may coincide with the drier conditions we can expect by the end or by the beginning of next week, and maybe a bit later as well, especially over the central to western parts of the interior according to current forecasts. But the signal weakens later in January, and while it's still present there around the first week of January, one can see that it is also somewhat weaker and may therefore indicate that we won't see such a strong drying effect over southern Africa by then. So at most this is basically an indication of somewhat drier conditions next week, but not necessarily going deeper into January. Now looking at the summary for the next few days, this is the ensemble forecast from the GFS model, and that is for until the 29th of December. We see the better chances for above average rainfall over much of the summer rainfall region, especially those eastern parts where we did mention that we will see most of the thunder showers during the next few days. Further towards the north, one can still see enhanced convection and tropical activity separated from our weather. This will be the softer weather, and there will also probably be a tropical low or a storm developing in the Mozambique Channel. So to summarize, this will give us average to above average rainfall over the central to eastern parts, while the western parts will be relatively dry. Now moving on to the first 7 days of January. The signal is somewhat weaker. As I mentioned earlier, there is not a clear signal of where the convection is going to be at that stage. So it's quite uncertain. At this stage it seems that the western parts of the interior will be relatively dry, but we can still see a continuation of the thunder showers over the central to eastern parts of the country that may result in average to above average rainfall there, while there may be some drier conditions over the Limpopo River Basin. But this is quite uncertain. This is for the first few days of January, and usually we see quite a big shift in the weather during this period, let's say late December into the first half of January. So we will be keeping an eye on these developments, and we will report on that in the next Cumulus newsletter.
"2010 was described as the decade of disruption. Smartphones, wearables, technology built to last. So why don't we build everything that way? Luckily, there is a group of people that still believe in this way of thinking. For over 10 years, they've helped farmers build lasting futures with crop insurance that stands firm when it matters most. AgriSeker.
We are where you are.
An authorized FSP underwritten by Land Bank Insurance Company.